Hi, guys, and welcome to the weekend reading of energy for April 10th, 11th, and 12th. And we have a couple of cards going on. I've already chosen the first card for the weekend's total energy, and it comes from Alana Fairchild's deck, Earth Warriors, and it is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful card that I wanted to share, especially as we this morning came out of the full moon energy and into this new cycle that we are starting. So the card is Mamaquilla, and it's the mandala of the moon. So I thought that was very interesting, that it's really reminding us of the moon energy and how we move through the cycles, and how when we move through those cycles, we move through all sorts of different emotions, we move through all sorts of different parts within our life, and we move just like the moon moves around the earth and affects all of our emotions, because the moon is very linked to emotions, and the water, it really affects everything that goes on around us and reminds us of how our emotions feed the energy and feed the tides that are going on in this world right now. And so it's really asking us to watch how our thoughts and our deeds and our words affect others, and how our thoughts, our deeds, and our words affect us, because it's all interconnected. If you really look at the world itself, if you all those oceans and all those bodies of water are in some way, shape, or form connected, either through the underground or through the fact that we have these two big caps of water that are in the North and the South Pole. So really thinking about how all of those emotions connect all of us as people who inhabit this universe. And I'm not just talking about planet Earth, I'm talking about like beyond planet Earth as well. And anybody who knows me knows that I normally don't talk about extraterrestrials or anything like that, so it's a little surprising that comes out of my mouth. But she is definitely looking forward. If you look at her, her arms are stretched up, and she is giving over to the cycles of the moon. She's giving over to the fact that there are changes coming, that there are things that are happening within her world, and that she is giving over to the divine. And if you look at there, you've got, I do believe looks like a jaguar to me. And then you've got a bird on the other side. So part of her emblem and part of her mandala is that you can be the prey and you can be the hunter as well. And that is really, really super huge. And some people that are actually listening to this right now may find that the hunter moon, that, and I don't even know when the hunter moon is. Truth be told, somebody's going to have to look that up if it's really striking a chord with them. And I can feel that right here, so that means that it's striking a chord with somebody who's going to be listening to this, is that hunter moon is going to be very important for you. So if that's something that's striking a chord for you, definitely look that up. And if you look on the mandala, there's a lot of sacred geometry, but there's a lot of hearts there. Do you see them? They're quite pretty. And what it's really telling me is that as we connect in with our higher selves, as we connect in with the cycles, and we leave that cycle that we are leaving behind now, and we're moving into something else, we're coming into a more heart-spaced forward momentum as far as how we heal, how we conduct ourselves, and who we choose to spend our time with. And those people that really feed that heart and really pull in and balance us from all those different four corners, so that they balance the physical and the emotional, they balance, which is, Archangel Raphael, and and he's coming in right now, and he's sending a lot of green energy to a lot of different people. He's sending a lot of yellow energy to a lot of people, and he's also sending a lot of pink energy. I guess the angels are coming in today to do some healing while we go through this reading. But as he's coming in with a lot of air energy. And when we talk about air energy, we're really talking about how do we communicate? How do we cut through the BS of the matter? And it's very interesting. The card for today was the Ace of Swords. And I just kept getting that, like, whoever was really going to see this card, that for some strange reason, like, it was just going to cut through a bunch of BS for somebody, and it was actually going to help people to see things and know things, that there were going to be some truths that were going to come through. And, this might be something that's really kind of happening for you at this time. And then, pulling in that heart space energy from the south, which is fire, which is Archangel Gabriel, and he's really bringing in that red energy with the orange, but he's also pulling in that piece of gold as well. So it's that real divine healing, and he's really helping anybody who's going through this right now, moving forward with what needs to be done. What needs to be done to make the changes that are coming? What needs to be done in order to push forward the things that that you've already supposed to be doing? Just, let's go, let's do this. And then Archangel Michael's coming in. I don't know why I'm getting all excited, because he's like, he's like the police, but he's all about those emotions though, and he's coming in with this really deep, sapphire. And he's coming in with that sapphire. So, like, sapphire is, like, not just about communication, but sapphire is about that strength within communication and really solidifying things and protection. So you are protected in the things that you are moving forward with. You just need to do it. And then Archangel Uriel is coming in, and he is ready to lead you down the path that you need to lead down. He is in the north. He is all about earth. He is all about your earth path. And he is looking forward to being able to show you what is going on for you. And so, sometimes when we look at our earth path, we see, like, where the rocks are. Is it a smooth path? Is it sandy and it feels like quicksand to walk through it? And sometimes, there's this beautiful paved road for the part of your life that you're in right now. So really allowing that to come through for you is huge and important. And there's somebody that's listening to this right now, and an apple tree is going to really be super important for you. And it's going to be some sort of emblem. It's going to be some sort of, like, aha moment that you, as you're listening to this, you're actually going to see, like, an apple tree, that the apples are beautiful and they're red, and the apple tree is full of these beautiful, leafy, gorgeous green leaves, and the apple tree is ready to be picked. And that apple tree is just for you. So if that's something that is important to you, then that's going to be something that is going to manifest for you. So that is the energy for the weekend. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to very quickly go through, and again, that was the card for the weekend. And she's just putting her hands up, and she's just allowing, and everything is just open. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a card for Friday, I'm going to draw a card for Saturday, and I'm going to draw a card for Sunday. And I'm asking for the collective energy, anybody who is going to listen to this in the next couple of days that needs that energy, that needs that message. I'm asking for healing for anybody that needs healing in order to move forward and to hear the messages that are coming forward for you. Yep. All right. So, this weekend. So, one of the things that I talked about for the card for today is really about, the Ace of Swords. So it's about new action. It's about new communication. It's about cutting through the BS. It's about the truth coming out. And sometimes when the truth comes out, it's not necessarily always a bad thing, they're saying. Okay. And it's very interesting that the cards that are here for the weekend are here. Because the first card, and again, it's interesting because Thursday is about heart's desires. So Thursday is about like really manifesting what's deep inside here that really comes from that spirit soul place that you are trying to manifest in a very physical way, and it really comes from like that heart space, and it's very interesting because tomorrow's card is the Nine of Cups. Now the Nine of Cups for me is typically really a heart's desires card, and it's really about it's a wish card. It's they're really showing me the bee that's on there, that it's something that you have been working towards. It is something that you really are just waiting to have that big, huge, beautiful cup and hold it in your hand and drink from that cup, because that's what you think your heart's desires is. And tomorrow you may actually get to go to that well, and you may actually get to drink from that fountain and see the manifestation of some of those heart's desires. Beautiful. It's wonderful. It's Friday. Friday is a day of love. So let me tell you, there's a grouping of people out there, okay? This card right here, all right, coming up from the day of love, because Friday is the day of love, it always is the day of love, is amazing because she's got her white veil on and she's all dressed up for a party, okay? But see all those cups around her, and she's also got that little bee there, okay? So somebody is going to get busy. And 9 is also about ending of cycles. So typically when people take their relationships to the next level, it is an ending of cycles and it's a beginning of new cycles. And I think one of the things that is really going on for a lot of people right now is they are seeing that their world is not what they necessarily thought their world was, and that they're really seeing that things that they have put off emotionally, things that they have put off moving through with their lives, why? Like, being able to move forward is such a huge and important thing. And I welcome anybody who's making that change and making it from a place of love and understanding and commitment. That's what it is. And remember, commitment is always a lot of work. It's just what it is. But it's beautiful and it's wonderful and it's healing. And so that is waiting for you. remember that. So Saturday, when I saw Saturday's card, at first I was like, ooh, okay. So Saturday's card is the Seven of Swords. Okay. So in this card, if you see it, this guy is taking his swords and he's going home. Right? And typically, when we see the Seven of Swords, we think of the truth coming out. And sometimes the truth coming out is not necessarily always a good thing, but for whatever reason, this is not a bad thing. And I think it really relates to people coming to a point in time in their lives where Friday, they're really looking at what is love, what are the relationships in my life, what do I really want to manifest within my world, and they're really looking at that and saying, this is what I want to do. And then on Saturday, which is a day of lessons, and the seven really represents taking that higher path, taking that spiritual path. For people that it's about business, like they're really going to be more attuned to what is my spiritual path and not necessarily what's going to make me the most amount of money in the shortest period of time. So they're really looking at that piece of what it is on Saturday. And the other piece for the people that are more geared towards the romance and the relationships is that they are not just ending that cycle on Friday, but they're really actually gathering up all their swords and consolidating all of those pieces, because you know what, they don't need and I'm getting this like man that's like coming through, and he's been, and it's multiple people, but there is in particular like a group and one man in particular that he has been dating a whole bunch of chicks, and but there's one in particular that he has been dating, not necessarily the longest, but it's been somebody that he has the most feelings for, and he's really kind of coming to this realization that this is the person that he really wants to be with, and he's really gathering up all those other swords that he's been, lending out, and he is consolidating them, and he's making a commitment, and the truth is coming out in the sense of like how he feels for this other person. So, and it might not necessarily even be a man, it might be a woman to a man as well, but there are these relationship dynamics that are coming out. So keep that in mind as well. And it's very talking to some very specific people out there, and I wish them all the best and lots of love. So then we get into Sunday, and it's very interesting because I think that a lot of people, in the Christian religion, Sunday is considered to be Easter. And it's a very holy time of the year for a lot of people across the world. And the card for Sunday is the moon card. And we just came out of this full moon, all right? And a huge piece of this is that those people that really have done a lot of the work as we've come through January and February with the Mercury in retrograde, that really asked us to do that really super inner work, is we are moving forward and through the things that we need to be moving forward and through, okay? And that we have confronted the more base root chakra and sacral chakra healing that needed to be done in order to get to that higher level. And I think I talked about this a little bit last week as well, that there are a lot of people that sometimes when there are wounds very early on in their life to that root and that sacral chakra, that they tend to really live up here in these higher chakras because that's where they feel comfortable. And it may be, how they have mastered their world. But because they haven't really done a lot of that wound healing in their root and their sacral chakra, they do tend to, a lot of times, confront things from a very lack or very fear-based. A lot of times they are people that really have difficulty with some of their impulsivity, or they are too restrictive with themselves. And so, when you have those wounds, those can really affect how you interact with the world. And when you live up here, you just make everything super logical, and you don't really connect in with that creativity and that sensuality, or like it's like you're the narcissist, and like you're always up there in the brain, and that relationships and sex are about like some sort of give and take that has nothing to do with that true magicalness that comes from that real relationship of connecting with somebody on a mind, body, and spirit level. So there are going to be some people that, as the truth comes out, as things continue to manifest, that they're really being asked to heal that piece of them. And that is going to continue to come up to the forefront. However, if you look at it, you've got the owl up there. And so the owl is all about, wisdom, is all about being able to see in the night and to hunt within the night. And the owl, what they're saying is that the owl is not only able to see the depths and the darkness, but the owl is able to understand that just like you need light, you need dark, and you need that balance between the light and the dark. And when you find the balance between the light and the dark, you come out of that root and that sacral chakra that's very earthy, that's very, if anybody knows Maslow's hierarchy of needs, it's that very base piece where, and then as you continue to go up, you get into that higher level, you get into that spiritual level and that divine connection upstairs. And if you look at it, I'm going to show you right here. So like there's two things right here. So you've got the cave right here that you can go in, or you can go over here as well. Or if you see it right here, look at that little path right there. That path right there, that is the path that you want to go on. Because when you go through that path, you are going between the mountains. You are going between those places that you don't need to climb the mountain. You don't need to think of 85 different thousand ways on how to solve that problem. Because when you are in sync with the divine, when you are in sync with your yin and yang, when you are in sync with the light and the dark of yourself, you just float. You don't need to worry about it. The truth has come out. Your heart's desires are manifesting. You understand the deepest and darkest parts of yourself that are bottom feeders, but you also understand that the moon and the sun, they both shine in the sky. Whether it's dark or it's light out, it doesn't matter. There's always some orb in the sky lighting the way. Anyway, that was my video for today for the weekend energy. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube page. If you have Facebook, you can go over to Facebook and like my page, which is Sheridan Tree Therapies, or on Instagram is Sheridan Healing. I do a card every day. On Thursday nights, I go live on Instagram and Facebook, and whoever shows up that asks for a card to be read for them, I give them a quick card reading. And usually people seem to really enjoy it. So I welcome you to there as well. And keep looking out because there's lots of really great things coming from Sheridan Tree Therapies. Again, my name is Jessica. And if you are just at all interested or there's something going on in this reading that you feel that you need some clarity on, please feel free to reach out for a consult and we can see if there is a service that we can provide for you. Thank you very much, and I wish everybody a beautiful weekend and lots of love.